mouth breather, coming to you here by laptop light to talk about a couple of words. For many years I have had a tendency to do what I like to refer to by the name that I took from the website TV Tropes, the trope of personal dictionary, where an individual will alter the definitions of words slightly in terms of, it's basically a way of expressing their personality by interpreting words in a way different from how other people interpret them. And so can be good for good reasons or bad or any combination thereof, but it's not like a sinister thing. It's just an attempt at expressing your personality in a semi-formalized way that differs from other people's expectations. So I've spent my life doing a lot of that. I don't sit down and look up words in the dictionary. I just speak the way that I've learned to speak, and the words mean what I think they mean for the most part. And that occasionally gets me into trouble when I'm in an argument and using a word differently than how other people think it is to be used. It can lead to some confusion, so I try to keep an eye on that. But the reason that I do the personal dictionary thing is that I think if most people don't actually sit down and spell out what they mean by words, and so I try to do that. And so I want to talk about a couple of words, and just to clarify how my usage of the word agrees or does not agree with, I'm going to look up here Dictionary.com, which, that's a whole other subject of the weird situation in the modern world where Word.com is treated as if it is the official website of the word word. That's an annoying example, but Dictionary.com is not the most authoritative of all possible sources. It's a pretty good one, but it is branded to a certain extent, and it's, even if it is, let's see here, launched in 1995, and has acquired the Random House Unabridged Dictionary. Okay, so I was gonna say Merriam-Webster, and apparently that's not them, so don't sue me. So Merriam-Webster has their dictionary website, and Dictionary.com is apparently the Random House Dictionary. So different companies are kind of fighting over the right to brand themselves as the thing. So for whatever reason, I'm just, for the sake of convenience, I'm going with Dictionary.com, and I have to set my camera down for a minute so I can type. And so let's see here, Dictionary.com, if I can actually get this thing to work. Okay, so I'm going to look up two words, and the words I want are illegal and extra legal. Those are the two words we're talking about today. So if I look up the word illegal on Dictionary.com, forbidden by law or statute, contrary to or forbidden by official rules, regulations, etc. Informal, that's, and then the noun, informal, disparaging, and offensive, illegal, alien. So that's, that third one, that third one is not what we needed to go with. But anyway, let's see here. Ooh. Probably showed a little more of myself than I intended to there. Okay, so the word illegal versus the word extra legal. Oh, jeez. Obviously, it would have been better if I had done this research in advance, but... Okay, extra legal, according to Dictionary.com, being beyond the province or authority of law. Okay, so this appears to confirm that I have been using the words more or less correctly. So a thing is illegal if it specifically contradicts the law. A thing is extra legal if the law just kind of doesn't apply to that area. It doesn't cover that. There isn't a law for that. So the reason that I'm bringing all this up is I have been a devoted user of YouTube for about 15 years now, and across that time I have seen, YouTube has only existed for about 15 years, and at first, when it first came online, I didn't use it, but fairly early thereon, a few years after it started to be a thing, I should probably say I'm closer to 10 years. The videos that I watch may go back 5 years, but I'm pretty sure I wasn't watching them when they came out. So anyway, so for 10-ish years I have been a heavy YouTube user, and at first I just sort of noticed things over time and became more and more frustrated with them, and eventually I started tracking them. So in the past year or so I have had a tracking document going on where I actually monitor things that YouTube is doing and have confirmed some annoying and weird case studies that we can look at to get an idea of why. So the point I'm getting at with all this is there are issues with copyright law, and I think any reasonable person would agree that copyright law is imperfect. But that's a very soft sell way of peddling it, and you could easily make a much stronger statement of saying copyright law is broken or doesn't work or is ridiculous, or you could say any number of things like that. So I have this document where I have been looking at all of the YouTube videos that I have sort of involvement with, and I've noticed some really weird trends in terms of the first a lot of videos were taken down over time, and the thumbnails are left up in most cases, so I have a bunch of blank spaces in all my playlists showing where I used to have a video and it was removed, and there's just this empty space left open with no labeling showing what it was. That's the thing that really annoys me. It's one thing to take down the video, but it's another thing to eliminate all evidence that video ever existed. So anyway, so my point in bringing all this up is there's the assumption that companies like, just to pull an example out of a hat, I probably shouldn't pull an example out of a hat, at least not right now. I can maybe do a follow-up to this where I'll go into more detail and look at specific example, but there are these companies out there that are squatting on copyrights and filing injunctions to get things removed for copyright reasons from YouTube, and so okay, so the point I'm trying to get at is that all of this is based on the assumption that uploading a music video that is a song when you have not paid officially for the legal right to do so, that is technically an illegal act, and the basis for copyright is based on the fact that this is an illegal thing to do. But considering the size of YouTube, they have a really, really, really inconsistent enforcement of those laws, to the point that I think that the laws in question really ought to be just abandoned as being untenable. And so I would contend that there's so much of a legal gray area in terms of what is considered fair use for copyright purposes, that the decision of whether a video should be removed from YouTube is basically made just on the basis of whether some rich asshole in a company sitting around just decides one day that this is the piece of work that's on his desktop that he's going to deal with today. Is I'm trying to come up with a really good example. So let's see here. I'm not finding a better one, so I'm going to look at this for right now. So let's get another tab going here. And let's go to YouTube. It'd be really funny if I could manage to live stream on YouTube and just like point the camera at YouTube while it's broadcasting itself live and just see what happens. I'm sure someone has done that, but anyway, I'm just, that's just me going off by myself. So I'm going to look up the channel EMI Music. EMI Music, 303 videos, 7.42 million subscribers. So this is a very legit YouTube channel, where actually maybe I assumed it was a very legitimate YouTube channel. Little question on that now. All of their uploads except one are from 6 years ago or more. So a lot of their videos have the Vivo label, which for the future people who don't know, because it seems like Vivo is kind of going away, but for a long time, for several years, a company named Vivo basically owned all of the music on YouTube, or very nearly so. They were just basically buying up whatever they could get, and every song by Stabbing Westward is the name of a band, so there wouldn't be a YouTube channel for the band Stabbing Westward. Instead, there was a channel named Stabbing Westward Vivo, and so forth and so on for all the bands that they kind of brought under their legal umbrella. So there's all these different companies, and a lot of them are Vivo companies, and I'm wondering if this might be one, because a lot of their videos have Vivo in it. That's just a starting point. So it seems like this is maybe not a good example. I'm gonna move on. Okay, let's see here. What about this one? I'm not going to tell you what it is, because I really shouldn't be. I've realized that I should not be naming people in this context, so because I don't want that one channel that I just named to get struck because of this. So let's see here. Okay, I am looking up another of these things that... Okay, here we go. Okay, this one explicitly says it is not official, so... So that was not a good example either. There's all these channels that look official if you're not looking carefully. The one that I was just looking at was a good example of that. It branded itself as maybe being the official website of the band, and then explicitly said it wasn't. But if it hadn't explicitly said it wasn't, then I would have still assumed it was, and so it's very annoying how these things work. So let's see here. I still think I have a really good example here somewhere, but I may not have the time to find it. So I think I gotta go now. Yeah.